Welcome back. More from the F&M's convention. Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Jcn Thompson, expressed his disappointment at the F&M's convention, saying the 2025 or the 2024-2025 budget communication does not indicate support for Bahamian families.
How many of you are struggling with the high cost of living? How many of you are struggling with high grocery bills? How many of you are struggling with high gas prices? And the PLP have the nerve to present a budget with no help, no relief, and nothing to support Bahamian families. And while they taking unauthorized trips to Bermuda, remember that? Lying about the increase in travel, remember that? The Bahamas needs the F&M. They presented a budget that does nothing to help struggling businesses.
Mr. Thompson also claiming that the Davis administration is using the public's money for their own personal use and is not helping to develop other parts of Grand Bahama outside of Freeport like they claim they are doing.
The government admitted that they used public taxpayer funds to, in their words, and I quote, to urge the minister's constituents in West Grand Bahama to support the government's candidate to fill the seat. They really believe, and I want you all to get this, they really believe that the public purse is their own money. The Bahamas needs the F&M. The Bahamas needs the F&M plan for helping struggle families and businesses.
Mr. Jcn Thompson said the F&M is determined to relieve the country of the PLP administration, and he is asking you for your support in the next general election. With missing children remaining a concern in the country, Superintendent Gilbert is urging parents to keep an eye on your children and any social media platforms they may frequent. He says just as the police force has a mandate to police the Bahamas, you parents have a mandate to police your homes.
We need parents to monitor who they're communicating with, who they're talking to on these social media platforms. Just as there are good people out there, vice versa, you have predators, bad people on these social media sites, just luring and trying to wheel in these young persons. We need parents to, when they are dropping their kids to parties, to the movies, yes, you trust what your child is saying. But I'll go back to what I'm saying. We need to police our kids. So we need you to circle back around. Know who they're at these establishments with. Identify their friends.
It is unfortunate, but Superintendent Gilbert says incidents like these are growing more common.
We've had an uptick in situations like that for the whole year. Parents at the bed, in the night sleeping, and their children are out on the road, being stopped by operation units, patrolling units, being in the company of others. That's where policing your home comes in. When it comes to kids, there are various signs that you can detect. You may detect signs of depression, children being a little distant from others, children not responding properly to discipline. All of these, among others, are signs that can be detected, reference to children showing signs before they venture to that aspect of running away from home or being missing.
If you are compelled to report a child missing, the police would need you to provide a recent photo and as many details on that missing individual as possible so the investigation can begin in earnest. From the Police Traffic Division, a man on a motorcycle has died after a traffic accident early this morning. Police say the victim was found lying unconscious on Gladstone Road. He was taken to hospital via emergency medical services. However, sometime around 6 a.m., the male succumbed to his injuries. This is the 27th traffic fatality for 2024. Police on Grand Bahama are investigating the discovery of a man's body in a canal on Monday. Police say they received notification around 5:50 p.m. and proceeded to the canal in the vicinity of Silver Point Drive, where they found the man, who was unresponsive, lying on rocks near the shoreline. Emergency medical services personnel arrived at the scene and examined the man, but discovered no signs of life. No signs of life. The man had no visible injuries. However, a post-mortem examination will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. And finally, a man and a woman are being questioned in connection with separate stabbing incidents that occurred on Monday. The first incident occurred around 6 p.m. in the vicinity of Okra Hill off East Bay Street and resulted in a 32-year-old man being stabbed to the upper body while on a bus. The 29-year-old suspect attempted to flee along Okra Hill. However, he was arrested by an off-duty police officer. The victim was transported to the hospital, where he remains in serious condition. The second incident occurred around 8 p.m. on King Street off Blue Hill Road. Police say the female victim arrived at her home and was confronted and stabbed with a sharp object by a woman that she knows. The 34-year-old suspect was subsequently arrested. The victim sustained injuries to her upper body and severe injuries to her facial region as well. She was transported to the hospital via emergency medical services, where she remains in stable condition. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.